Hello, this is Daniel Marr, and today I will be doing a video, on where do I think everybody went after the attack on prison. Now, if you haven't seen the mid-season final for season 4 yet, I recommend you watch it, then come back here and watch in this review, cause this will contain so much spoilers. It's not even funny. So yeah, so everybody splits up at the end the episode. There's already a trailer for the second half of the season. I will be putting it down in in the description below, so you guys could see it. And yeah, so the groups, one of the major groups, I believe, will be Rick and Carl. Where did they go? From the trailer, it seems they went to this house, and not Rick, Rick kind of sort of fainted after a while, and Carlos basically yelling at his dad like, wake up," and yeah, um, and it's kind of interesting because it's almost also like issue 50 of The Walking Dead where Carl and Rick are at this house. Rick's like coming in and out, and then you know, and then a couple walkers come. Um, Carl kills them, goes back, and Rick wakes up. I will, if you guys want to see that one too, I will also put it down a link to that one down in the description below. I did a review on issue 50. It's basically like that because there's a couple of walkers banging on the door, and then you also see scenes of Rick and Carl coming into this one house. They're like wake, and then Carl's like yelling at his dad, wake up," and all that. Another group is Michonne. Well, that's not really a group, that's a person. Michonne, she saved Rick's life after Rick having been beaten to a pulp by the governor. She kills the governor. Well, not really. He stabs him through the chest. Lily actually kills the governor. But um, she basically, saves Rick's life, and then she disappears because she wasn't seen after Rick or Carl came to see where Judith was, or towards the end of the episode where Rick's like, "Don't look back." Where she went, I don't really know. What I believe is she probably went out to in search of the some other people from the group, or maybe the governor's new group, to go off and kill them, or maybe there's too many walkers around her and she just needed to kill them, and then she lost track of where Rick and Carl went, and she just went on up on her own. And yeah, I believe she's gonna end up somewhere in the woods, and then she's either gonna somehow either run into Rick like she did in the comics, um, or she's gonna end up with Tyrese's group, or the bus group, or Maggie's group, and yeah, because she's the only really loner of all the groups. The third group I want to talk about is Tyrese's group. Tyrese is basically like the babysitter group. Tyrese is basically with all the children except for maybe Carl and Judith. Because Judith, we have no idea what happened to her. I actually did make a video on my thoughts on what happened to Judith. I will also be putting that one down in the description below for those who want to see it. So yeah, Judith, we have no idea what happened to her, and Carl's with Rick. So yeah, the reason I call Tyrese right now the babysitters because he's basically in the same group as Mika, as Lizzie, as Luke, and as Molly. He's with the four other kids. Um, because originally because Mika saved not Mika Lizzie saved his life by shooting Alicia and the other guy. Um, then they run off because I guess they saw walkers or there's more people, or maybe they were gonna go get Judith, which I do have my thoughts on that in the other video, which I again is down in the description below. Um, Tyrese was pointing more to the bus, like, "Hey, it's that way, go this way," but they just run off, and Tyrese chases after them. In the promo, Tyrese is seen, and he's like in the woods, like wandering around, like scared. What will happen to him? He may end up in he may run up run run in with any of the other groups. But I think he'd probably more likely end up with most likely the bus group. The next group will be Maggie's group. Maggie's group consists of Maggie, Bob, and Sasha. So yeah. So Maggie, Bob, and Sasha, they're seen at the battle. Maggie's trying to get them on the bus, but the bus leaves. After a while, and they just also run off into the woods. And like everybody else, I believe they're gonna run into each other. And then it leads me up to the biggest group of all, the bus group. The bus group consists of Daryl, Beth, Glenn, and then a bunch of background survivors. Um, really, the only other named survivor there is Janet, which is a black lady. Um, I think I put in in the video of Judith that the that she may be in the bus. But if I didn't state it in that video, I'm gonna state it here. Judith may be in the bus. Whatever. Yeah. I mean that's a pretty big group because that's 20. That's about 20 plus people because they have background survivors: Daryl, Beth, Glenn, Janet, possibly Judith, and a bunch of other people. Maybe I didn't pay attention to. So yeah, that bus group. It's kind of interesting. Daryl said go south. Go south means I don't know. To me, that means go here down to Miami, but they're in Georgia. I'm pretty sure the prison is north of Hershel's farm, so I so they could be going down to Hershel's farm, which will make for an interesting storyline. Yeah, because that's actually what they did in the comics too. Some of them went into the back to Hershel's farm, and that's where they found Abraham and Rosita and all that. I did make another predictions video to that, so discussing this topic. So there's another link down there. So yeah. If you guys want to see it, I'll put a link to that one too, also down below in the description. So yeah. So yeah. Now, if everybody else heard it, such as Rick, Bob, Sasha, Tyrese, Maggie, Michonne. I'm not sure if they heard it, but maybe if they don't run into each other, another possibility is they all run, go down to Hershel's farm, right? And another possibility is they could just fade into the background. Yet all these people seem like pretty decent characters. That would be a shame to be seen, going into the background like Carol did, you know. Because after a while they just don't appear anymore, and and another character, and because right now it does seem like they could use her again, Carol after her she was banished from the group. I do think she could reappear. I say she may either run in with the with either Rick and Carl in that house, or she could go back to Hershel's farm originally, and she could be there. They're hoping that someone will come and rescue her, or she just try to catch up with what she's been doing. Maybe the bus group could find her, or like in the comics, Abraham, Rosita, and Eugene could be down there in Hershel's farm, and Carol could have been accepted into the group, which may be another possibility. If she isn't, I could see Daryl and she going in search of Carol. Now, if Carol happens to run into Rick, will she hold a grudge? That'd be interesting to see. Another thing that will be interesting to see is if she runs into Tyrese, because Tyrese was barely told. So I want to see how she faces Tyrese. Because last time she faced Tyrese, she basically went apeshit crazy. If you guys remember, she basically threw down the water and everything. Um, yeah, Tyrese doesn't really know, so that'd be interesting to see. And the last but not least, that final group that it's not really even from the prison group. This is more from the governor's group. It's Tara and Lily. First of all, I don't even know if they got back together. So I'm gonna do this as if they did get back together. Um, so I'm gonna go separately. If they, if the two girls, Tara and Lily, didn't find each other after the war, and they just split up, kind of, because of all the chaos, I do see them as each of them, as either finding each other again or finding one of the other groups from prison. Now if they find Michonne, that'd be pretty interesting to see, mostly because Michonne may or may not remember who they are. Because you know, because she was in and out of the fences and everything. So that'd be interesting to see what happened if she finds Tara or Lily or both of them. Also Rick will be pretty interesting to see because she actually did see Tara. So would she kill Tara on the? I mean, would he kill Tara on the spot or let her live? Um, any other groups? I don't think they will have much of a problem with. Now, if they would have to split up and Lily was to find Rick, I don't know if Rick would kill her. I'm leaning more towards no because they are interesting characters. Now, then again they could just fade into the background like Carol did, and but that'd be a shame to do because they seem like so much interesting characters. And yeah, they seem like interesting characters, but not every single character have could have their own spotlight. But an interesting note is that Alana Masterson, I believe is how you pronounce her name, the actress's name, who plays Tara, her contract is expanded to become a series regular in season 5. Yet the one who plays Lily, which I don't know her actress name, doesn't have her contract expanded. So I don't know if they will expand her contract. So that for Tara at least, that leads me to think they would at least bring her back. At least Tara. Lily, I'm not completely sure. I could see Lily coming back. Now, a quick note: Morgan is supposed to appear in the second half of the season final. I mean, not the season final. I mean the season of the second half of the season 4. So I could see him like Rick and Carl, going back to where he was, where Morgan was, and start a small group with him. I could also see same thing with Michonne. And in the comics, Michonne actually did start a small relationship with Morgan, so that'd also be interesting to see. Or maybe he was looking for a surprise and he just happens to find someone from the group. That'd also be interesting to see. Would he kill them? Because it does seem like he's killed people, and yeah. So that's what I think. I will put down in the description um a link to the promo of the season 4, a link to Judith on what I think of what happened to her, a link to what I hope to see in another what I hope to see in the second half of the season 4, and I think that was it. Um, yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, one more link, and it was for and for the issue 50 comic review, and yeah. So yeah, if you guys want to see them, they're gonna be all down in the in the description, and yeah. So this is Daniel Marr. Please tell me your thoughts on where you think all of them will be heading, and yeah, where you think they'd all be heading, every single group is gonna be and everything. If you guys have a different idea, please put it down and explain it if you want. And yeah, please, if you're new around here, please subscribe. I do have other Walking Dead videos and other videos about other stuff, such as other comics and movies and other stuff like that. And yeah, please share on Instagram, Vine, Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And yeah, so this is Daniel Marr, and goodbye.